Over the last few decades, Mario 64 has received critical acclaim for being one of the best 3D platformer games or perhaps one of the best Mario games of all time, and there is no denying that. It still remains one of my favorite games to revisit for a quick play session, and still remains highly popular within the ROM hacking community, and speedrunners as well. However, like all legendary games, this one does have its flaws. In this video, I will discuss the worst thing about every main level in the game, and they are entirely based on my own opinion. With that being said, let's begin. Starting with the lush yet dangerous Bob-omb battlefield, I had to think for a little bit regarding the worst thing about this particular level, because it is not a bad level at all, far from it. In fact, I think it is one of the best first levels in any Mario game due to the fact that it is literally impossible to fall off the stage, and it's pretty beginner friendly. But if I had to choose, I would say the 5th star named Mario Wings to the Sky. The wing cap flying mechanic has always been super wonky to control, and this star really brings out its glaring flaws. Trying to angle yourself carefully using a cannon, and the way Mario swoops up and down trying to get the 5 secrets always felt like a crapshoot to me. The tedious part is that when you miss one of them by a half inch, you have to launch yourself back to the island again and again and again, until you can successfully reach all of them. Others can probably do it easily, but maybe it's just a skill issue, but I have never liked this star personally. Next is Whomp's Fortress. This is one of my favorite stages in the game because it always feels satisfying trekking up the fortress to the top while dodging all sorts of obstacles and enemies along the way. I always like how colorful this place looks too, and the way they mesh well together. There isn't too many things I dislike about this level because every star is a banger, but if I had to choose, I'd say falling into the cage star is a bit annoying to do on your first try. I'm aware you can just triple jump up to it by calculating the best angle, but I'm not a pro speedrunner, so I'm not good at that. Trying to use Hoot the Owl to drop down felt kinda weird playing the game for the first time, but gets a little easier every time. Then again, this is just a minor nitpick. Next is Jolly Roger Bay, the first swimming level of the game. Although I enjoy the mysterious and misty vibe of the stage, one thing I dislike about it without hesitation is trying to collect 100 coins here. Combining wonky swimming mechanics and the slow-paced flow of the level, you're looking at a pretty boring quest for coins. At the very least, half of the coins needed are inside the cave, and it feels pretty exhilarating to avoid the toppling stone towers and blue coins to speed up the process. There isn't much to say except for the fact that I'm glad getting 100 coins is optional. Next is Cool Cool Mountain. This is a pretty chill place to be in and admire the wintry vibes of this level. It's one of the better levels in the game in my opinion. But one thing I don't really look forward to is getting the 8 red coins scattered across that giant mountain. If you haven't memorized the locations, trying to find them all quickly is a little tedious, as you may have to search every nook and cranny for them. Again, it is no problem if you know where they are, but for newcomers, it can be annoying. And one little slip up can cause you to fall off the mountain and force you to start all over. Next is Big Boo's Haunt. Within this haunted manor lies an abundance of specters looking to haunt their next victim who dares step foot into their home. Unless you're a plumber who can literally punch ghosts, then they have every right to be worried. This is not a bad level by any means, but if I had to choose one thing I dislike about it, it's trying to get 100 coins here. Because it is so massive, trying to get 100 of them can be a little tedious, because you have to visit every single room and kill all the boos and stuff to get them. I guess part of the fun is trying to explore the entire mansion, but if you're trying to 100% the game, it could be a bit of a slog. Next is Hazy Mazy Cave. This dank and murky underground dungeon is home to all sorts of bacteria and weird parasites that have nowhere else to turn. One thing I never liked about this level is easily the weird floaty elevator platform exclusively used in this level to collect all the 8 red coins. Having to jump on the 4 buttons to navigate across the place isn't all that fun, and it feels like a bit of a slog to do. I wish they would have replaced it with something faster, but then it would be almost impossible to do it then. Either way, not my favorite part of Hazy Mazy Cave. Next is Lethal Lava Land, one of my favorite levels in this game, and for good reason. It's a little hard to choose what I don't like about this area, but I always sort of found the bullies brutish and inconvenience. I know it's not that big of a deal, but trying to accurately punch them while they make their life goal to push you into the lava always felt off to perform. I wonder what they went through to make them so pissed off all the time. Perhaps they have some stuff to work out with their therapist if they visit weekly. In any case, hopefully they can reach peace. Next is Shifting Sandland. In this dry wasteland filled with random sentient boxes and cacti, I can say the worst thing about this place is the 5 secrets hidden inside the pyramid. It's a hassle trying to fight the camera angle on this to get the best view of where the coins are residing. Sometimes it's not your fault when you fall for the 10th time, and having to keep going back up gets old quickly. You have to be pretty precise for this star, and there's nothing wrong with that. But this game is infamous for its horrible camera control, so it's unnecessarily difficult. Next is Dire Docks, the home of the cute bubfish who doesn't appear in more levels for some reason. I think the worst part of this level is trying to pole jump for the red coins, because having to wait for the return can be a bit boring. Mario games are known for fast-paced action and running, so it feels like a slog here. Not only that, but if you miss your timing and fall at the poles, you have to climb all the way back up just to try again. Not a huge fan of that, to be honest. Other than that, this level's pretty okay for what it is. Next is Snowman's Land. Aside from getting hypothermia in this winter wonderland, I would say the worst part of this place is trying to trek up the mountain to the top of the snowman's head. I always found the base of this mountain with icy waves annoying to jump over, and the way he shoves you into the icy water if you miss your timing. Not to mention how the snowman tries to blow you away if you don't walk behind the giant penguin. Speaking of, I feel like he is in cahoots with the snowman because of the way he just walks back and forth like he's trolling you. Next is Wet Dry World. This place is known for exhibiting negative auras and giving off weird vibes and such. I guess I would say collecting 100 coins here is a bit tedious solely for the fact that you have to keep raising and lowering the water levels to even have access to some of the blocks and paths that restrain Mario from touching them. And the fact that you had to visit the abandoned town on the other side to get the rest of the coins needed, it's not bad by any means. It just takes a little longer than expected. But if you're into stretching your playtimes to its limits, then it should be okay. Next is Tall Tale Mountain. The one thing I was never a fan of is trying to reach the Lonely Mushroom. I know pro players can use the jumpy box to angle themselves perfectly to reach the mushroom, but by the time I learned to do that, it's faster to just use the intended way just like the cannon. I know that's the Weenie Hut Jr. way, but I'm not afraid to admit that. As a kid, I cannot tell you how many times I missed the star by slightly grazing it and ended up dying as a result. Mario was so close to it. Why doesn't he just grab it while being launched by the cannon? Next is Tiny Huge Island. If you watch my videos for a while now, you know that the single worst part of this level is of course Bubba. This monstrous slick and shady beast is the bane of my existence. I was always afraid to enter the water because of this thing alone, and still am. It set a pretty big impression on me as a kid, as his hunger knows no bounds. The DS version, however, changed Bubba's design immensely, as it looks way goofier and less threatening with his little buck tooth. Next is Tock Clock. The worst part of this level is the fact that once you fall from the top, it's pretty much over since you will continue falling and hitting every platform along the way. It's pretty bad considering how massive the inside of this clock actually is. That must be a pretty nasty fall for Mario falling all the way down. Lastly is Rainbow Ride. The worst part of this level is, well, everything. From the moment you start to the end, it is easily one of the worst final levels ever. I really despise it because of how lackluster it feels and looks. Not to mention trying to get 100 coins here is a nightmare in every aspect. This place is the one I look forward to the least when revisiting Mario 64, and I can't be the only one who thinks this way too. Well, that's everything I dislike about this game. Thank you for watching. Do you also agree with my reasonings? And please like and subscribe for more videos like these if you want to.